It started with bar mitzvah logos and flyer designs. It's turned into high-price artwork for major professional athletes. And it all comes from the desk and the mind of a Yeshiva University student, Ari Solomon.
I've always been a creative type of guy. When I was a kid, I used to love to draw. I used to make uniforms. I used to draw comic books. I just loved art. I loved creating. So, based on my parents' suggestion, I took up Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop, and I created my own graphic design business where I was more locally. I was doing ads and flyers and bar mitzvah logos, and that was kind of how I got familiar with the programs. But overall, I still had in my mind that in the future that I would hopefully try to use the talents and skills that I would learn to get into the sports industry.
In order to begin making a name for himself, Solomon started reaching out to social media-minded professional athletes with an offer.
I started just messaging and hustling and grinding and just messaging as many athletes as I possibly could with a simple offer. I was saying, I'll make you a free piece of custom artwork. In exchange, you post it on your page and you tag me. And people started responding, and athletes started telling me, wow, we really love this. We really appreciate this work. Super excited to show that right now.
That led to the creation of the 5-Minute Drop, a live Instagram series Solomon created to unveil his designs to athletes, while the pros are on the other end of the video call.
Pretty sick.
One of his 5-Minute Drop guests was Alex Katz, a professional baseball player who pitched for Team Israel at the 2017 World Baseball Classic and acquired Israeli citizenship. Katz now has his sights set on competing for Israel in the Olympics. Katz just so happens to have a side business, a custom athletic footwear company, Stadium Custom Kicks. Impressed with Solomon's designs, Katz presented Solomon with his next challenge, designing sneakers and cleats for pro athletes.
Mothball.
His very first task was a tall one. He was asked to create a custom set of cleats for New York Mets baseball superstar Jacob deGrom, who wanted this past September to pay tribute to the recently departed Mets legend Tom Seaver.
He wore them on a Sabbath, and going in, because on Sabbath, I'm not able to use my phone or computer, and going into Sabbath, I was not positive if he was wearing the cleats. It was unconfirmed. Turned out, right after Sabbath, I took out my phone and I saw Jacob deGrom struck out 10 batters in my custom cleats, and I saw on the broadcast they were raving about my cleats, and that was unbelievable. And that was really the start of when my cleats started getting exposure, and I started getting more and more and more jobs. At this point, I've designed for over 45 professional athletes over the last couple of months throughout the MLB and the NFL.
It would seem a lot for a 21-year-old college junior, and a double major at that, to take on.
My day starts at 6:15, and when I get up and I pray very early right away, and then because my whole morning is no matter what is dedicated to learning Torah in Yeshiva University, so until everybody knows that I'm off until 12 o'clock at the earliest. I'm unreachable. And so at that point, that's when I can start my day kind of. And, I also work out during the day, so I have to revolve. It's really every single free moment that I have is doing Photoshop and doing designs and doing my work. And I won't go to sleep until I finish everything that needs to get done. But I'm also very blessed, and I'm very lucky that I enjoy it. I really enjoy what I do.
And Ari even whipped up a custom sneaker design for us on the spot to celebrate our network's new broadcast agreement with the United Arab Emirates. Walking in the footsteps of history with Ari Solomon's designs.
48. כן. יאללה, עוד פעם את בי? 48. 48. כן. יאללה, עוד פעם את בי? 48. 48. כן. יאללה, עוד פעם את בי?